Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about how you can actually score full marks in the OOPS section, which is object-oriented programming section, which is carries 30 marks in your Java generic. Okay, so I know that, so I'm assuming that everybody knows the pattern and everything. If you haven't watched that one-shot video of Java, which is in the channel of 40 minutes, please do watch it and then understand the structure and what are the kind of questions, or not the questions, what are the kind of things asked in the exam. Now, in this video, we are completely discussing about the OOPS, which is carries 30 marks. Actually, I have worked really hard to make this video for you guys because I did a lot of homework. Now, we are going to discuss about the syllabus of OOPS. First of all, obviously, object and class you have to study. Then we are going to deal the OOPS principles, which is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Abstraction means focusing on the essential characteristics. Encapsulation is bundling the data and the methods of it together. Inheritance means hierarchy of classes. Polymorphism is the ability of an object to take different forms. So this is not actually a lecture section or anything. I'm just discussing the topics only and the sample program. You have to actually undergo lectures or maybe the tutorials, or you can actually attend the training itself. So that's why I'm just mentioning all the topics. Now we are going to discuss about the constructors. The constructors also, there will be three types: default, parameterized, and parameterless. You have to check it everything. And you must know about the use of the this keyword, super keyword, extends, and what is the instance variables and all the stuff. And next important topic is about the static. You have to actually know about static variables, blocks, static methods, and everything. Its implementation, what is the actual meaning of these things, everything. You have to, undergo all these things. And one more thing I wanted to say, that in the PF I have already said there will be assignments, exercises, and everything for that. That you have to solve. But in this case, in OOPS, if you don't, you have to solve everything for the understanding, for the deep understanding of the concepts. But still, if you don't get that much of time for the preparation, at least, it's mandatory that you have to solve the 4 practice problems given in your course. So there's a course of Java. There they have 4 practice problems of the OOPS. You have to solve it. I will say solve at least minimum 5 times one question. Then only you will understand the flow. After learning all these concepts, try to solve the questions by yourself. If you are not getting the answer, try to ask your friends and then the educators. Then at least solve everything minimum 5 times. So it means 4 problems 5 times, 20 times you have to practice. Then only the concept will stuck in your mind. Then only a new problem will arrive and you will solve the question. Without any confusion, without any mistakes like that. The very, very, very important thing, which is relationships. So now here we are going to discuss about the relationship of class to class. What kind of relationships is possible. So it is aggregation, association, and inheritance. Again, if 2 classes are in aggregation relationship, it is mentioned as a diamond symbol with a star, with a line. And if it's association, then it is represented by a straight line. And inheritance, it is actually, hierarchy of classes. We'll have parent class and child class or subclass, like that. And the types of inheritance are single, hierarchical. And in Java, we are not supporting the multiple inheritance. That's why we have the concept of interfaces. So by the case of inheritance, we'll use extends keyword to, get the properties of parent to child, and in the case of interface, we'll use the keyword implements. And now we are going to discuss about the polymorphism, which is of static and dynamic type. That's nothing but method overloading and method overriding. And the other things that comes under the OOPS is the final keyword, which is a final variable, final method, and final class. And we have abstract class and methods. You have to go through the course and everything about that. And we have interface, exception handling, try-catch, it's a try-catch block, the package, the recursion, and regular expressions. In my batch and all the previous batches we have, up to inheritance, they are asking for the hands-on, and other parts is considered for the objective. I'm not the one who's actually creating the course or anything. But I don't know about the question pattern is changing or not for the upcoming batches or maybe the freshies. That's the case. The first thing I wanted to say that you have to listen to your educator. If he or she is saying that, prepare thoroughly for the final keyword, the final method, it will, gonna ask in the question or it will be in the hands-on. You have to prepare really hard for that. So always listen to the words of the trainer. Plus, I'm saying this in the basis of my experience. Actually, up to the inheritance, it is commonly asked in the hands-on. Okay. And about the practice problem, I have already said you have to practice every practice problem 5 times minimum. It is minimum 5 times, right? Everybody will say 3, but you know what happens is 3, that first time you will get a lot of errors, second time you will see and solve the things, third time also you will just solve, but still you will get some errors. So it is mandatory that at least 5 times you have to solve every question. So that level you have to practice for the OOPS. Otherwise, it's very hard to score 30 marks. And if you just want to score like, you don't need to pass every test case. It's like you just need 20 or something like that. Then you don't need that much of practice. Then you can solve every question. But still you need practice to solve everything. If you want to score 30 out of 30, minimum is the 5 number for each question for practicing. Discussing about the practice problem. Here I just took class A, B, C, D for, just, understanding what is the level of question or how the question is going to ask in your exam. Okay, so let us discuss that. So here I took class A, B, C, D. Even though I'm saying that this is not a lecture section, that's why I'm just mentioning all of these things and, directly going in the question. That's why I'm just, saying everything without mentioning what is this thing and that. I can say that this is class A, B, and these two classes are in an aggregation relationship. And class A and C, which is of inheritance, this is a parent class and this will be the child class. And class C and D have association relationship in between. So in your exam, listen carefully, in your exam, any of two relationship plus 3 classes will going to ask. Here I mentioned 4. This is a maximum level of thing. This is the maximum 4 and minimum 3. They will going to ask, which means maybe D will be not here. Just 2 classes have aggregation and these 2 things have association, or these 2 things have maybe inheritance. You can say like that. So it's like 2 relationship is going to ask. That's a minimum case. And only I think 2 relationship itself, because in every question, like in my first attempt and in my second attempt, third attempt, for every people, they only asked about 2 relationship and 3 classes. 3 classes was the minimum, and it's the maximum is the 4 classes. So this actually prepare for the worst. Always we have to prepare for the worst. That's why I'm just mentioning 4 classes, and they will say something like this, class name and implementation details. Here the class A is fully implemented, B, C, D is partially implemented, which means you don't have to write anything of class A. Class A is there, okay, keep it there. The information will be useful for class C and B for reference, and you have to fill, or you can say that you have to complete the methods of class B, C and D. That is only needed. Class A, you don't have to write anything. I forgot to say that there will be a problem statement, guys. So these all classes in your exam, the classes will be not like A, B, C, D. There will be a problem statement which is stating that there is an online, an online education center and something like that. So the class name will be offline, online. There will be, the object-oriented program. Why we are using object-oriented programming? To represent the real-life things, right? So the question will be also kind of real-life things. There will be calculate discount, calculate the fees, something like that. Methods, everything will be like that. So I'm just, for the purpose of understanding you the model of the question, that's only I took A, B, C, D. In your question, you will not see A, B, C, D kind of things. And one more thing I forgot to say is that the symbols here, the minus will represent the private, which is this is all the, actually if this is a class, these are the variables and this will be the methods or functions inside the class. Okay. So the negative represent the private and the positive is representing the public. Here also you can say that plus is public and negative is private. Here also plus will be public. And for the minus, the private things, you have getters and setters also. It will be also pre-implemented in your code. You don't have to write the things, right? Now the next most thing that you will observe in your question paper while in the question is that you can see that a lot of big descriptions about everything. So they will describe the class, they will describe all the points about the small things. If there is an array or there is a variable, they will describe it. They'll say this is of type this is a return type of this, everything. So you have to note everything. And one more thing I wanted you to note that the description part is actually not just mere, some paragraph or anything, which is actually the pseudocode itself. So sometimes you have to refer to the description. It is not sometimes, every time So every time you have to actually look through the class and the description. See, they will mention everything. This is actually only one example. Here there is a class A. They will mention all the details of the variables, array, everything, and there will be some notes also. They will mention everything. You don't have to worry about anything. And the method details also they will mention. And again, there will be some points like it's like there is a method called A. They will bullet point this, and the method is invoking another thing. So there will be another bullet point. Again, there will be some sub bullet points also. So you have to actually observe the symbol also, and in the sub points also there will be another sub points like that. Let's say, and in this way you can actually code the things. So you just need to follow the things which is actually given in a pseudocode level, but still, even though this is a description, but still it's a pseudocode. That's the key of solving the OOPS. You have to actually read through every line by line. You have to read all the things, all the line, understand it, invoke or you can say create the things, pass the parameter, do the calculation, everything. You have to, they will mention it in the details. You have to follow that. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. I already mentioned that there will be 3 to 4 classes. In a maximum, there will be 4, but in a minimum or in a common way, there will be 3 classes. And we have to write around 4 to 5 methods. Or you can say 3 to 4. But in a maximum, at least 4 to 5 methods will be there to write. And we are not writing the methods by the scratch. They will provide everything that we are discussing now about the code structure. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the code structure. See guys, this is all. This is pre-given. This is already given. And please don't change these things. Okay, do not change. If you change, then just imagine your 30 marks is gone. There will be structural error and you will not get the correct mark. I mean, you will not get a single mark if your code is correct. Then don't even, try to change a space itself. That will also create some structural error, and later it's a very, very, very big problem. You can't even able to submit the thing, or whatever they are given, you have to keep it that itself. And some this will be the class diagram. See, this is A, B, C, D, and in the basis of this, I just wrote the basic code. The class A, it will be given. The variables, they will already, initialize it. They will pre-initialize it. And the constructors will be also there. Methods, they will, mention it. And class B, variable, arrays, variables or arrays. If there is an array, then they'll also initialize it. Constructor, everything they will be initially getters, setters, they will provide everything. Okay, so you don't have to worry about writing the code from the scratch, writing every class. There will be nothing like that. You just have to observe, you just have to understand the concept and just fill out 3 to 4 methods. And yes, here comes the part. Here see the class A. Even though I have said that class A is fully implemented, that's why we don't have to mention anything. And class B, C, D is partially implemented, which means we have to write a method here in this. See, there will be a method. This will be the format of the method. Public, there will be a return type and the name of the method. There will be some parameters, or maybe some cases there will be no parameters. You have to write your code in this way. This will be the section to write your code to train it, and they will mention everything. They will mention like what you have to do inside in the pseudocode way. That's the thing I discussed with you some minutes ago. Like they'll provide everything. They will provide the descriptions of method. Please go through it. That is actually pseudocode. Everything will be in the line by line. So you have to actually go through the line by line, and then you can change the return type according to that. Sometimes they will also provide the return type as string or anything. They will, even though they will provide the name itself for the string. And see the next most thing. Class C extends A. Again you have variables, constructors, everything. The second part is here. Here also there will be some part left for you to write the actual code inside the method. So you have to actually write the code inside what the method is of and what the function this method must perform. So that's why PF is very important. See, to writing the code, PF is required here. Whatever you are studying or learning from the programming fundamental, which means the loops, the conditional statements, everything you have to use here. That's why I'm saying you cannot skip PF and then you can directly go to OOPS and score that 30. It is like actually, without studying ABCD, you are trying to read and analyze Shakespeare or Othello's poems or like that. This will be the correct example only, because without the basis, how you can actually solve it. See, for everything, I'll explain this also after completing this. See, again we have class D and variables arrays. Again also here there will be some part you have to write your code here. There will be a class tester. This is the main class. Here comes the public static void main, which means the starting point of the code. Here they'll mention a lot of codes. You don't have to change everything. Don't try to change anything here. It will result in the structural error. So don't try to make any structural error. Definitely I'm saying it will be marked as 0 out of 30. You will get 0 out of 30 for that. I'm repeating this thing because a lot of people are doing this stuff, and in the exam itself, in the middle of the exam, they will face a structural error. And one more thing I wanted to discuss with you, that if you make any structural errors, the invigilators or the teachers there for the invigilation, they will not help you. They can't do anything. It will mention my experience also here. In my second attempt, I completed my PF and DSA within, I can say, within 45 minutes. Then my complete time is went to doing OOPS. Even though I completed my program in 1.5 hours, including OOPS, by passing every test cases, and I scored 60 out of 60. My score was 60 out of 60. And in OOPS, I faced the structural error problem. I don't know why and how, but I faced. And I crashed, doing the Control Z, and it created a lot of, mental pressure itself. So, knowingly or unknowingly, do not make any structural errors that will directly mark as 0 out of 0. 0 out of 30. And I just, say this thing to a ma'am, there is a structural error. She's like, I can't do anything. If there is a structural error, they will definitely not going to help you. So please don't change the given code for any of your exam. That's mandatory. Fourth thing, I wanted to share you some of my points, which is the first thing is, do not actually, read much about the problem statement. There will be some problem statement, online kitchen or cloud kitchen, or maybe online university mark calendar system. There will be something like that. You don't need to concentrate much about it. Everybody, I wanted you to, carry a paper and a pen with you for the Java hands-on exam. And in the paper, you have to actually draw the class diagram, because the question will be very big. Every time you have to scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down. That will be in the exam, and you will be kind of frustrated. You will also feel kind of frustration. So you just have to mention everything. What is the method name that I have to actually implement, and everything you have to actually write. So everybody, please carry a paper with you and a pen also with you. That will be more nice. And for every method, the description will be given. For everything, they will describe each and every variable, array, static array, everything they will describe in your, that question paper. You will mention that, and please listen, or maybe please you can actually pay attention to the point, the bullet points, and when and where the bullet points is having sub bullet points, then only you can actually write the code according to that. So please. And the next thing is comparison of comparison. While it is of comparison, it is mentioned, it is clearly mentioned in your note that there will be some note, or you can say there will be some kind of note thing. So it is like case sensitive or case insensitive. They will definitely, they will directly mention it like that. So please do take care of these things. If it's case sensitive, then don't use case insensitive. Some people will also, by mistake or maybe in a hurry, they will do these kind of silly things. And result will be, if it's case sensitive or case insensitive, the comparison will happen. There will be no error in the logic, but some of your test cases will not clear. And in that you will only know when you have to actually finally go through the code, and then you will understand, okay, it was actually equals, dot equals, it was not dot equals. So that's why I'm saying read through every line read, write the code according to that. Every line, the next line, read, write the code according to that. You have to do like that. The next thing is you have to take care of the return type and the conversion. Some things you have to actually convert through. If the return type is actually double, it is already maybe given in the method also, then don't try to make the answer in float, or you can say in int. It will create error. So you have to take care of that thing. And the next point is very interesting. Even though it is very easy, like there's only aggregation, association, inheritance, and these all things, it is very easy. But that is actually the relationship between the classes, right? So to understand what is a class, you have to understand the class and object and the methods itself. For understanding the methods and objects, and methods is actually functions. And what is actually method? Method is actually a piece of code, you can say a block of code that is, supposed to do a particular task. So for that, the code, actually the task, we have to do something. We have to actually write something in the method, right? How we will write? By only studying the concept and the basics. And the basics is what? The PF is there. So everything is interrelated. So is there anyone who is actually skipping the PF and directly going to the OOPS? I would say that is a very bullshit thing. Please don't do anything like that. To actually make sure that you are very, good in your concepts. The concept is the key. The thing is actually, while reading a question or reading a thing, there is no need of you to by hearting the code, and you can actually look in the question, you can write the code. That's you can say the level of practice you needed for everything. So that's all. I hope you understand the things. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And one more thing I wanted to share is that even though I have mentioned the number as 5, you have to practice every practice. There is a 4 practice problems. You have to practice every problem 5 times, which means 5, 10, 15, 20. The 5 is actually, I have mentioned, like if you don't have time, then at least 5. You have to actually practice it before your exam. But if you have plenty of time, and the one more thing I wanted to share is that it is completely depends on your learning capacity. Some people, practicing 5 is actually, more than enough. Like they will catch the things. And if somebody if someone who is average, or you can say below average, I would suggest you to practice 10 times, because I'm not going to say that you have to by heart the thing. It is not for by hearting or stuff like that. It is actually understanding, understanding the concept, what is aggregation, how the things is going to work, the inheritance, writing the method, the flow of the code. You have to understand the flow. That's why I'm saying these all things. See, you're actually dealing with 3 to 4 classes, and all the, everything is interrelated, from aggregation, from inheritance, from association. These all things is very important. Somebody who is average or maybe below average, or not from the IT and don't have any knowledge in Java, do not waste a single minute of your training. Practice really good. If you don't know any concept, don't hesitate to ask your friends or maybe the teachers. If you ask also, nobody cares. Okay, what is better thing? Just ask now. What's the problem? Will tease you. Nobody is going to do anything. If you don't ask, what is the thing is that you will not clear the exam, and you will just gonna miss this wonderful opportunity and everything. See, Infosys changed my life, and I'm really grateful that after the first failure, I understand myself, and I tried really good, and my best is there. And I have actually worked my best there. So that's why I can actually share these things to you guys, right? So that's why I think, do not waste your time. This is all about time management. Within a very less time, you have to actually go through these all concepts. In 1 year or maybe 2 years, everybody can score full marks in the hands-on. But this is all about the time. Time will be very, very, very less. So don't waste your 1 minute. Even if it's 15 minutes, go through one PF problem, solve it. You know that this is kind of weird that she's always saying study, study, study. I mean, before failing the first attempt, I have experienced everything. Chit-chatting, not studying, just going through the mobile phone, looking the phone, reels, everything, and then failed the exam. Then after clearing the second attempt, there will be some time. There I got some time, and after that time, after the exam, people will ask you how many test cases you cleared, and you can say, if you say full, then oh my god, then 60 to 60 is there. Then you cleared Java. Wow, congrats. That is the emotion. So you feel a little bit proud, and at that time you can look your phone, web series, YouTube, whatever you want. But now, please study and please focus on your exam and just clear it. Clearing full test cases means it's a pleasure. You can't imagine the happiness. It's like completely, complete thing will be green, and it's like cleared it. I have actually made it. It's like, conquering the thing. Clearing all test cases means alagi masai bhai. So, padlo. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. So here is another set of question, a practice problem. You can actually look and understand the problem, which is actually inspired from the lesson created by Gemini, using Gemini. And here the class diagram is given, and all the classes, methods, everything is given. And you can see that here also the description for every methods is there. In the exam also you will get the same thing, and you just need to fill out, and the pre-implemented code is also given. You don't need to write anything, from the scratch, like I discussed before. You just need to fill out only the methods, the logic inside the methods only you have to write. So for that, practice is needed, understanding the concept, everything is needed. Practice thoroughly for the PF, then only the OOPS will, you can easily score good marks in OOPS. So that's it. I'll see you on next video. Bye.